I'm very disappointed in the statement from Otumfuo.
And the change of government shouldn't give people the opportunity to say, because there's a change of government, we are going to misbehave or take the law into our own hands. That also should not be acceptable.
Obian Walker said this action by the military or the men who went there, it was because of change in government. No official statement from anywhere. Say Abansi Sayenti and Amrantiano call say Omoko Anglo Ashanti site. So far, until Otumfuo gives me proof. Nipan so ebo mutui and come here additional free mensia. I don't think say Sebion Kamensia beka asemo kayeno at the politics abe frafra. Amrantiano Omoko say Omoko ako be Anglo Ashanti net no. They were wearing NDC or MPP colors. These are young men who live in Obuasi. For Otumfuo to attribute this to a change of government, and then I believe, say, with all due respect, Otumfuo Osei Tutu and Kasaye, there's some kind of hypocrisy in Otumfuo Osei Tutu's statement. In 2020, your boy nipa tuo ewo techimano identity Otumfuo ankasa.
Kevin Taylor said, "Yewra opemso asantimaira Otumfuo a hypocrite, a high group of friends, meeting Eddie cyber, and then first start on video, but more than not like a subscribe button, send my product video bia na answer a quick. I was here and Chebiana a year a quantum copium or Obuasi galamsey, or because of say Obuasi youth a copium or Anglo Good Ashanti or more site or Mode or Mutu a good day, Obuasi youth a copium or so just for Ukum Nipa 9. Nana Ghana for Edu Bonokobo a Captain Smart, but Ghana for can simply a fauna or Pemso Asantimera, a Bontende in Sembi Abetuja.
Concessions to the leaders, the gang leaders, those supposedly who lead them, and say, okay, you operate there, bring all these people there, and then look at what gold they produce and arrange to buy also from them and all that. Really, it might find a way to resolve these things. But doing illegal mining must not, and it shouldn't be encouraged by anybody, not even the government, no matter what. And the change of government shouldn't give people the opportunity to say, because there's a change of government, we are going to misbehave or take the law into our own hands. That also should not be acceptable. We are living in a society where the law operates, and therefore I don't think this government would also encourage that to happen. And from what they've done so far within them, I know that they are not going to encourage that to happen, no matter what. So we all will try to find solutions to this. Yes, unemployment. Yes, illegal mining is not acceptable. If those young ones who are there want job, we have to all plan together and think together and see how best we can incorporate them into whatever that we can. But and then Asanko also had the same thing last year, where a lease signed legally by the government to them like Anglo, and then people, illegal miners also going there with impunity to mine. And I can't see why the Minerals Commission or whatever cannot take these things up. And so we all have to make sure that things are done appropriately and properly. The new government has not settled. Therefore, like I said, the direction as to how we're going to look at it is also something that we all will take it up and discuss closely and dearly with. But the security will still protect you, and I'm sure that within the next month. I know there were lingerings there, but community-wise, we still have to be talking to the Sarkin Zongo in Obuasi, for example, because I'm sure some of the people were Muslims, 7 of them also were Muslims, and therefore, psychologically, I'm sure they also maybe planning whatever it is. I don't know yet, but if we engage them in the community development and everything, engagement and all that, we should find an amicable solution to that. And at the same time, your community relations also must be backed up so that you can be able to meet them. Unfortunately, I don't know about job creation over there now in Obuasi. How is it impacting on the community in relation to work? You cannot create employment for everybody, but your community relations must be heightened in such a way that they will have a clear understanding of what you're doing. It's not just that Obuasi is there and there's money there, and therefore we can develop the whole of Obuasi within one day. So people should appreciate these things, and also because investments, the obligations to be met. And so the expectation from the community in relation to Obuasi is a big man, the money should come to us. Well, that relation, we have to be able to bridge that bring education and everything for people to appreciate. What you have to do, you do. Community relation, you do school. Say that that's what you do for the community. The royalties also, as it comes also, we should know how it's put in the district assemblies, the metropolitan assemblies also, whatever monies go to them, what do they use it for the community? All these things must be done for people to know that their royalties, whatever going to the district assemblies, this is what they use for. Either for roads, for community schools and everything. So that people would appreciate that we are also benefiting indirectly from the operations of the community. I think one thing that you have to also look at going forward when the production goes again, it's the form of what Newmont did, where you set aside an ounce of something in terms of money and then form a development foundation together, Anglo and the community. So you get them involved and then they can decide if you want a hospital, if you want a school, if you want this. And that also will bring in the community involvement to understand and appreciate what you are doing. Newmont has done that and it's very successful. And it's there. So if we can be looking at all that in the way forward, it will be fine. So they have a blueprint. They set out an ounce of gold or something, that in value of money. And they've set up a foundation with the community people involved, all the communities, the people are involved, and then they decide what that money would be used for when they invest. So they use it, they've used it for various, set up a technical school there, very Totroso, Afrisipa and all those things. So they're all, it's more like we are all part of the Newmont operation. So if you look at it also, that may be the way for it. I know the operation has gone down a bit, but the time it will pick up because Obuasi is your flagship anyway. It's holding Anglo Gold seriously. It forms about 30-40% of your operations now. So it's a major asset. So let's look at it objectively on those lines also. And let us make sure that we involve the community in some form of foundation where we plan development programs together. Let them nominate some people from the community who will be part of that. Have for mind, they had Sarah Mensah and other people who were there. Indigenous people were well-educated people to meet with the community, and then they decided, together with Newmont, also appointing 1 or 2 people involved, and the way forward they've planned so much, aside the royalties, aside whatever they have to pay to them, and it's been doing well. So all those things could be done to bring the people, get them to have a feel of what the operations of the bus is and the benefits they are getting from it. And I believe that if we can be looking at that, it should work out properly for us all. But meanwhile, we would follow developments with keen interest. I will be in touch and see how best you can be protected to be able to do your work uninterrupted, no interference and everything. And if people want to mine illegally, not in your mine. If they want to do mine, they should, I think we have to group them and then also go to apply for concessions and do their mine, but not what has been allocated legally. And a company that's also invested, got investments and obligations to do, which internationally also, because if you are not very careful, internationally these news go out that if you invest in Ghana, you're being disrupted by illegal mining and everything. We cannot attract any investments at all. These are all issues that we all have to bear in mind. So we make sure that much as we want investments, we also have an obligation to protect the investments for people to appreciate that if you go to Ghana, you can do business there and then your investments are protected. So I think that we would also take it up from here and support you. So you can count on my support every time. and I know that it shall come to pass. Dead, those who died, whatever, I'm sure no one wants any human being to die. I don't want to lose any human being. And the circumstances like this, it comes, and then there's nothing one can do about it. So they also have our condolences and everything. Anything that you can do to support them, so you could do. But again, legally, you have the right to reprint. We can't support any illegality. So thank you for bringing this to my attention. And I can assure you that I'll be following that with keen interest to see how else we can do it. So thank you very much for coming.
We ne nsema yewura opem so editujwa abra soldiers for kunkum yuta omo Obuasi na ebetujwa sa na Ghana for ekeka nsempi efa Ghana for no bi kan say nsema yewura ekan ne de wan kan ye ebi so say an eno na okan na Kevin Taylor ababo ntende nsema ebetujwa say so utie nsema yewura editujwa na otu hypocrisy ewo ne kasam because of say youth young boys ewo Obuasi na yewura of the politics ewura ensem instead of say ye be investigation ye hu nkrofo a omo shutu aye boys no komo nkrofo a omo ma command say omo kum boys no ewo Obuasi Kevin Taylor ekire mu say yewura e de issue no adane politics na okeka nsem pi e de fa yewura Otumfuo no ekuti nsem a Kevin Taylor e de tujwa
akasa afa asema esi Obuasi ho no nipa enso a omo ye na de hia omo te Asante asase so ya bo mu tuo sojafo Otumfuo Osei Tutu ekasa afa asem no ho no say change of government shouldn't give people the opportunity to misbehave. Asante Hine condemns Obuasi incident. Otumfuo Osei Tutu kasa or say abansi saba kyerɛ sɛ ɛwɔ sɛ ɛma nipa bi ho akwenya ɛmɔmudi di nsɛm hunu wɔ Ghana. Na Otumfuo Osei Tutu kasa afa nipa nso a sojafoɔ a ɛwɔ sɛ ɔmobɔ Ghana ho ban a obiambo obutuo abɔ Ghana for enso tuo wana asase so or say sɛ aban sisaba mema nipa bi mfa tumi nhye ɔmo nsɛm endi nsɛm hunu. And I'll say this, I'm very disappointed in the statement from Otumfuo. I am very disappointed. I am very, very disappointed. Because one, Obian Walker said this action by the military or the men who went there, it was because of change in government. There's been no official statement from anywhere. Say abansi san yenti and amrantie no eko say omoko Anglo Ashanti site. So far until Otumfuo gives me proof. So for Otumfuo to politicize this matter, I am very disappointed in Menshia. Because say asem say abano, it is not because of power that changed. It is an issue esia nipebi ekunipa sebio nipa nso ebo mutui and come here addition mu free menshia. I don't think say sebio ka menshia beka asem okan no e the politics abefrafra. I don't think say emrante no mukọ or say omukọ akobie Anglo Ashanti net no they were wearing NDC or MPP colors. These are young men who live in Obuasi. It is for Otumfuo to attribute this to a change of government. And then I believe, say, with all due respect, Otumfuo Osei Tutu and Kasaye, there's some kind of hypocrisy in Otumfuo Osei Tutu's statement. Because if you want to look at the case critically or look at the issue critically, the issue here is why NMI instructions kun emrantiano. Boni ben amrantian ya soldier for end to me and use other means to stop them. The only thing they had to do was to shoot them. These are questions, basic questions everyone will be asking. Now, if Otumfuo Osei Tutu catch say they see Obuasi a ema yeku nipa nso no a change of government na de ba then in 2020 your bo nipa tuo e wotechima no identity Otumfuo ankasa say a change of government about 2 months 70 and a bo nipa tuo for about 4 years. Otumfuo said it never spoke on Techiman South killings. Asantibemu yetna Asantibemu ebo nipa nso tuo. Otumfuo did not see the need to speak on it, even though it was a different matter. But a war asem na yeka. Why is Otumfuo so eager to jump the gun to tell us, say, what happened, it was because of change of government? It wasn't. This is not the first time an incident like this has happened in Obuasi. So far, we are all waiting for the investigative report. So for Otumfuo to just conclude this matter, to create an impression in the heads of people, say, this is politics, no? Then I think Otumfuo got it wrong. And we have to say it in his face. Because unim, say, anyane sa, nipa bi, ebe she tumiechi, no mo de di nkwasi asem, eti se soja fo na, omo she tumiechi, Anglo God Ashanti MD no, ehai omo momo di sa imbransem we. Because what, in the first place, why are soldiers guarding a private property? Why? We are paying these soldiers with the taxpayers' money to stay and protect Ghana. Why are they guarding private property? That's the first question we need to be asking. And I'm deeply disappointed in this statement. This should not be political. This should be straight questioning of authority and how they deliberately murdered people. We need to move away from these things. And sometimes we'll be telling me, Kevin, or Otumfuo, me, I don't hate Otumfuo. Bibia niwa Otumfuo wa, mi menye bi. Otumfuo is going to be rich till he dies. Otumfuo is going to be royal till he dies. The Otumfuo enya obrabum enya dia menye bi. So why should I hate him? But I have the right to criticize the utterances of Otumfuo when I believe it's not right. That is what I do. And it does not mean when I criticize Otumfuo's statement, it makes me disrespect him. No. I need to criticize Otumfuo for him to know I respect him. That is why I'm criticizing him. And not to Otumfuo kramporo sebio otnasia or what sebio ahemfo netna edwene and somehow. So it is very good we also analyze the statements from Otumfuo because Otumfuo asamemuadu. This is not about change of government. Unless Otumfuo knows, say it was purely change of government, politician being a cast of unkoho and I say our evidence. Until somebody proves that to me. Because you cannot tell me NDC ko Obuasi, MPP ko Obuasi, Kweku Obuasi West MP, Kweku Kwatin, Ojina Obuasi Anglo Gold, the Anglo Gold Ashanti Eye campaign from 2016. Ye boni patwo. Last 2 years, ye boni pabe and watchitwo Obuasi. Why didn't we say it's because the government in power, the way they are doing things, we didn't say anything. And I can show you videos. I was here, I spoke on it. It's because of change in power. No, I disagree with that statement. And that statement is a statement protecting criminals who killed Ghanaians. The statement from Otumfuo protecting soldier for Akromfowi, protecting Anglo God Ashanti MD who is supposed to take responsibility for his actions. We are not supposed to use power to protect crime. With all due respect to Otumfuo Osei Tutu, abrochire na unyini te semia. Sebio yenyina yakodi pa. Inti we are sure say abrochire na asem we see and an oil company and a amanfo bi encroach oil company and a gold mining company. So Canada what na and UK na say omo encroach na say ya bomu to a odwin say people are going to sit there and let those security people walk away and the MD of the company walk away. You have traveled more than have traveled. You have seen things more than have seen. You have experienced that. Me. Why are we not applying the same thing here? Mummy Njai. This is not politics. This is somebody deliberately murdering Ghanaians. And we expect Ahemfo to lead the charge to make sure, say, a man for Enshisha Soja Tadie and Enshisha position and Ghana for. I will never justify the actions of these young men who went to encroach and as Omoko cross the AGA4 line. I will never support them. But I'll also not allow people to murder unarmed Ghanaians. Never. Because Soja Nibiru were both two. It is almost like and the Ghana military, the only option they have, say a man phobia, they need to shoot there. They don't deserve to be in those uniforms.